So let's go ahead and start again with the founder perspective. So Sean, Skyhive, as you mentioned, is a Canadian company, but I also know you because I met you here in Silicon Valley. You've spent a lot of time here. How are the attitudes and techniques of scaling different in Silicon Valley than back in Canada? And how do you process those lessons and convey them to your team?
Yeah, it's a great it's a great question. So I think really there are three areas that I see in terms of contrast. One is a fake Zen proverb that I'll talk about called breaking the bottle. The second one is access to networks. And the third one is growing your team. And so in terms of breaking the bottle, in Canada, we tend to be relatively conservative as it relates to innovation, as it relates to big ideas, as it relates to putting ourselves on the global stage. And as an entrepreneur, I had to go through a process of what we call breaking the bottle, which, Chris, you've been an exceptional help to me in that regard, where when a Canadian entrepreneur is asked, who is your competitor? They'll say, well, Joe is my competitor on Main Street. A Silicon Valley startup, when you ask who's your competitor, well, my competitor is Microsoft or my competitor is SAP. The proverb of breaking the bottle is you take a duck, a baby duck, and you put it in the bottle and you feed the duck and the duck begins to grow. And eventually the duck is getting too big for the bottle. And what happens is you have to figure out what's going to happen to the duck, or else the duck is going to die. And so you can't take you're not able to take the duck out of the bottle, and you're not able to break the bottle. So the Zen proverb goes as follows. What do? Well, you break the effing bottle. And so really what it is it's about constantly understanding that whatever limit you think there is to scale, whatever limit you think there is to the potential of your idea and technology, Silicon Valley has this incredible way of harnessing that and accelerating it forward in a way that is not available, for example, in Canada. So that's number one. Number two, access to networks. Obviously, surrounding, as an entrepreneur and a founder, surrounding yourself with people who have been through the breaking of the bottle process in all facets. So whether it's operationally, whether it's strategically, whether it's go-to-market, the Silicon Valley ecosystem is second to none in terms of having people with that set of experience. And for an entrepreneur to be able to continuously break that bottle, they're not going to be able to do that on their own. They're going to constantly need a network of people who can push them and keep them accelerating towards that sort of global mindset. And so that's a big contrast. The third one is access to team. And so coming from a smaller tech community, Vancouver is great, and it's one of the world's recognized tech communities, but our population is small, and we also have a lot of the big technology players here, the Amazons, the Microsofts, the Apples. And so the reality is if we're going to build a global enterprise grade technology, we're not going to be able to do that with resources solely in Vancouver. And so we've spent the last year at Skyhive building out our contingent of employees and expertise in the Valley and harnessing and cross-pollinating their knowledge and experience to the team in Vancouver to accelerate the growth and development of our team here in Vancouver.
And I think that that's a really fascinating perspective on several levels. First of all, the importance of that mindset. That's one of the things we try to do with the Global Scaling Academy community, bring people together so that you can benefit from that breaking the bottle mindset, connecting with the networks of folks that have that. And something you mentioned, I think is just as important, which is being able to bring people onto your team who could bring that perspective. And in many ways, ironically enough, given this pandemic, this is the perfect time to bring people onto your team from different parts of the world. Everyone is working virtually anyways in most countries. And so this is an excellent opportunity to bring those kinds of mindsets in.